Hello, hello. It's me, Pixie. Just reversing as well. Don't think it's too noisy, but I might have to put a bit of a fan on. It's just, you get in the vehicles, we've got to heat them up and cool them down. So there's one temperature. Yeah, you want to drive around here. Maybe that'll make it a bit better. Also means there's a bit of more outside noise. We'll enter this recording. Well, it won't be too much of a problem, hopefully. Yeah, what would I like to talk about today? Let's see. I got myself a chunk of Moldavite. The stuff pretty much looks like just a bit of glass, to be honest. Yeah, equals. And it might actually be glass. It's a little bit difficult for me to prove otherwise at the moment. Have to use my if it gets all steamed up, I just have to use my reptilian vision, I guess. See around in the dark. So yeah, so I got a chunk of Moldavite. It's quite a small piece. It cost about £19, and then there was something like sort of £5 to send it or something like that. When I first put it in my hand, I found that I put a lot of energy into it. It's like I was trying to open it up. And so yeah, so I kind of charged it myself. Definitely. I mean, the background of Moldavite, well, by taking a reading of it, is that at some point it either come from the sun or was very close to the sun, and as a result, it has this kind of energy frequency connected to the sun, and the sun itself is a ball, and basically it's crashed onto Earth, and whether that actually made it more Moldavite, or if it already contained Moldavite, which I kind of could see this sort of greenish asteroid. Yeah, that's right. Is that what it means? Right. I just thinking. No, definitely asteroid. Yeah, I'm just thinking about the ratio of water and stuff. There's all these rules about astral bodies and stuff like that. And yeah, so basically that's what I picked up, is that the rock itself is. There we go. The rock itself. I don't need that as well. It's pretty much done a circuit around the sun, or been caught in orbit, and at some point is basically taken a smash collision with Earth. I mean, there's a certain amount of dimensional physics, and we have to really kind of, because you get caught up in all these people saying space doesn't exist, NASA's a lie, all these things. Well, we don't know what they are, so I think what people need to do is to dig a little deeper and actually find out a truth for themselves. That's the best way of putting it. You know, what is space? I'm not too sure. If you go into space, do you turn into an instant ice block? They say you do, and why would that be? So around frequency or something? Is the sun really, really hot? Actually, no, because what happens is that it's just full of radiation, or the energy coming off it. When it hits a solid object, it's going to actually vibrate at such a frequency that it generates a lot of heat. So when it comes into the atmosphere, it generates a lot of heat. And also, the light from the sun, you can't really see it. I mean, you see where it's coming from, as in the sun. It's only when it reflects on things, it actually got information. In its purest state, you can't see it. It's like radio waves and stuff. They're not in my frequency spectrum of seeing them, but I'm sure they're out there, bouncing off things. You know, there may be some other entities that can actually see sort of sound waves and stuff bouncing off things, or maybe the reverse. You know, like sound is what they see, and light is what they hear. So it's just a completely different reversal of these things. In the same way that a snake can see a person's heat, the heat patterns that their body produces, that generates a visual for their cortex, in the same way that maybe what a dog picks up about a person is far more information. You know, it puts probably Facebook to shame in that it's got a whole profile on the person. So anyway, so back to the Moldavite. I put a lot of energy in and didn't really get so much out of it. And then I put it next to my, I got a Spooky 2 rifle machine. So I put it next to there, and I was trying to use it. I had a problem with the machine, but I've resolved it since then. Anyway, I put it there and I decided, you know, I'm not doing much this evening. Or basically from sort of in the afternoon, so I thought I'd have a rest for a couple of hours. So I had to lay down, and yeah, then I did feel a lot of energy come into me from my third eye. I felt like I was vibrating quite a bit of energy, and I also become very aware that the chakra points that people mainly over focus on the spine. There's ones I can feel in my arm. I can feel all these different energy points in the arm. So you're kind of like a big round orb with all these little orbs inside. So that's pretty much the energy construct of the human body. I was looking back into an old picture that my son drew, and he basically had me like a giant amoeba. And I have these like, you know, if you ever see a child draw fingers and stuff like that, they probably put 20 fingers on there. And they put all these sort of like lines for arms, and maybe they got like a face in there, but it looks like they draw internal organs into the actual picture and all sorts of things that you think, that's strange, you know, does that really look like me? So it's almost like a sort of warped version of Peppa Pig, if you know what that is. And so basically, but what's important is people overlook the power that children have. If you ask a child and they tell you some concept or theory, they might have got it from the purest form of it, of their knowledge. You know, but I thought it was funny in the past when my son said, "Oh, he said, do you believe in God?" "Yeah, I talk to him every night." And I said, "What, really?" And he went, "Yeah, I talk." And then he said, "Oh well." See, he said, "So do you believe God exists?" He said, "Yeah, but he's dead now." So it was very strange. I don't know what he was channeling through him, but I have to respect that. I have to respect that. Now with the knowledge I know, he's obviously more spiritually advanced in a certain aspect than I fully understood. In the same way that when I was a lot younger and I was in my 20s, that my daughter was talking to an invisible friend, and I thought, what's this? What's going on here? And then I learned about fairies and other conscious, or other things that actually pop into my life. They say, "Oh yeah, I'm here." And it's like, what's that weird voice I just heard? It said that. And it's not my voice, and there's no reason for a trigger. And I'm not flaming bonkers, well, maybe a little bit. But maybe a little eccentric, maybe that's possibly, that's what sort of quite open mind to things. But however, there's no sort of anxiety triggers. Now, with mental health, there's usually a hell of a lot of anxiety, so having a non-anxiety reaction either means a very, very healthy mental health, or I put it on down the spiritual path. It's you know, this is kind of what people created in their universe. And so yeah, so I guess I've learnt a lot. You can learn a lot from children. That's the aspect of that, and also if they have a belief or spiritual understanding, is don't try to shape it to fit your own, because it might actually be the real deal. They might actually be giving you some special knowledge, you know, from the astral realm or whatever. So yeah, basically I've got a lot of energy come through. I felt these points in my body vibrating, but I also knew that the rifle machine wasn't working properly. However, later on today I've got it fixed. It's likely when it did a Windows update, it buggered up the drivers, so I just reinstalled the drivers and played around. Now it's signalled back on. So now what I've got is I've got some DNA samples. I've got one of mine. I've got a customer actually of mine who gave me a sample to play with. So I've got that, and I've put it, and I've shoved a bit of Moldavite into the remote device, and it's getting blasted with different what we call rife frequencies. You're going to have to do research on it, but basically it's the research of using different frequencies to treat conditions, stimulate DNA and all sorts of other things. It's like quantum entanglement, you know, in the same way that you can kind of like trigger emotional states and energy states and stuff like that. and it promotes healing and all sorts. You know, basically if your frequencies are out, you can develop ailments. If your frequencies are good harmonics, you get the reverse of it. In the same way I've listened to binary beats, but this is actually charging into my DNA. And so yeah, that's how that part of the physics works. So we're getting all this energy blast into there. Another project I'm involved in, don't mind sharing knowledge, is basically the best form of ormus you can create is if you mix in Epsom salts, because sulfur is really important to your body, and a lot of the magic with stuff like ormus is it happens inside you internally, because you're putting everything into balance. You know, you're shifting rare elements into there, you're supercharging the DNA, you're giving it a reason to react, and as a result that sort of kicks off a kind of energy wave. But once you've got kind of the balance, you'll notice it less. You just notice sort of different types of benefits. And this makes me laugh, this car here. When I left earlier on, it was parked there. I live in, you know, like there's a whole freaking car park, and we've got some ridiculous car that's just dumped in the middle of nowhere. I'll just chop it in half. Find the police on it. It's ridiculous. And so yeah, so basically I've made a mixture. So I've got my Epsom salts and other salts I've mixed in, and if you add turmeric to it, this is important. If you add turmeric to it, you get a lovely red mixture. So you get a different type of turmeric altogether that doesn't exist normally. And then what I've added is jerk spices, and so then we got this quite original mix, and it tastes great. So that might be, if you're into ormus, that'd be a recipe you can try out. Okay, this is PC Lamb signing off.